Good morning, Bande Matram. Welcome all of you. The topic here we are going to discuss on the soul takes birth. So on death and rebirth we are having the past discussion. We have chosen it on death and rebirth. The caption will be the soul takes birth. Soul that takes birth. It carries mind, life, and the body as its instruments. Already we have seen. Soul comes again and again as through a rebirth, process of rebirth, to gain experience and to progress. That's what we have already seen. Anyway, we want to read Sri Aurobindo to some extent. Initially, I want to quote from Sri Aurobindo only one line on rebirth. Why this rebirth is inevitable, necessary, needful. Sri Aurobindo quotes, if there is evolution of a conscious individual, not of the unconscious things, Sri Aurobindo is not quoting. Sri Aurobindo quotes initially, if there is the evolution of a conscious individual, then there must be rebirth. Evolution of the conscious individual, if there is there, then there must be a rebirth. There is no other go. So, but actually, Sri Aurobindo has put the things, it is for the conscious individual. But there are those that are really conscious individual. Otherwise, people are coming, they don't know what is the aim of life, true aim of life, what they are here for, what is the next, what for we are working here. So many questions have been there on birth and birth, death, rebirth. So many number of questions have been put to the mother and Sri Aurobindo, and very simplified manner Sri Aurobindo and mother has explained a number of things. Here we'll take on Sri Aurobindo. The soul takes birth each time, and each time a mind, life, and a body are formed out of the material of the universal nature. Immediately, as with death, the body gets decomposed, mixed with the Panchabhuta. That's what we have already known. And thereafter, bodies seemed summed the drifts of numberless births. Numberless you can't count, you can't remember and recall or say that I have taken this number of births. Numberless births. Mind and life altered to take new significance. They get altered, they take new significance. But spirit to the spirit was the same. Spirit, the soul, that is same throughout, you can feel. And second thing, you can find the body will be totally new, but as immediately after the death, this body gets decomposed. You lose the body. So body will be absolutely new. Here, the soul takes birth each time, and in each time, a mind, life, and a body are formed out of the materials of the universal nature, according to the soul's past evolution. According to the soul's past evolution means always you are going up, and you are being pushed up. You are going few steps ahead. Soul's past evolution and its a need for the nature. It has to think, decide at the time of death what it has to do, which experience it has to take, gather around. And after finally, after immediately after death, your body gets decomposed, mixes with the Panchabhuta, that is over. Vital goes to the vital world, there itself some problem starts. It depends upon getting the NOC, no objection certificate. I mean, you have to, whether you are eligible to go or not, or otherwise you have to fulfill the condition. That is a dangerous phase of journey. And later you can find mind is going to the mental realm. Finally, psychic is going to the psychic world. That is in Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo has used very one of the most interesting and the most glorious line, fashioning chamber of the soul. There itself it has to decide what it has to regain and what it has to, these experiences which have been gathered around, which it will take and which it will throw it out, and which we will carry for the next birth, what it has to do, when to take birth, where to take birth, what is the choice and all. So many things in the soul decides in the fashioning chamber of the soul, in the psychic world. soul's past evolution and its need for the nature. When the body is dissolved after death, immediately already we have discussed, body is dissolved immediately after death, then what happens? And the vital goes into the vital plane and remains there for a time. That is what the requirement remains there for a time. But after a time, the vital seed disappears. That some criteria is there, and you have known so many things will be asked that the vital world is a dangerous world, and you have to pass. Of course, if you are in the spiritual line, you have got that much unshakable faith on the divine. You have gathered great grace from her, and that with that assurance, mother has established one bypass road. That is very for the selected few, those who have actually fulfilled the conditions. So but after some time vital seed disappears. The last to dissolve is the mental seed. Last to dissolve is the mental seed, already we have told. Finally the soul or psychic being retires into the psychic world to rest there till the new birth is closed. Till the new birth is closed. At the time of death, the psychic being decides everything. So nothing, no say of the mind, vital or physical, however they are developed. Because everything, the final say, final decision with the psychic being, it has to decide. Psychic being retires into the psychic world and to rest there till a new birth is closed. Till that moment it has to wait. It waits there. That is the what we see. That is the truth. The soul gathers an essential element of its experiences. Already we have discussed essential, not all experiences, whatever are required for the next birth. That is what essential elements of its experiences in life, and makes that its a basis of growth in the evolution. With that those experiences that are gathered by soul, psychic being, that is they are actually a basis of growth in the evolution, and when return to birth it takes up with its mental, vital and physical seeds, so as its a karma as useful to it. So karma factor, it plays a great important role. Soul and a new life for the further experience with these things, new way. So returns to birth, it takes up with its mental, vital and physical seeds. It has to choose, it has to decide. Things will be altered. So much that it's karma and it's useful to it for a new life for the further experience. With one generation, one birth, this experience are not complete. You have to, this soul has to take birth and birth and rebirth. This process will continue. Nobody knows how long it will continue, but it will be a recurring process, continuous process. It is really for the vital part of the being that sadhaka and sadhana and rites are done. This is the vital part. Already I have experienced. I have already explained this. It is really the vital part of the being that that shraddha and rites are done. Shraddha. I am sorry. Shraddha and rites are done. Recently we have celebrated one occasion. One occasion just on fourth evening, and for somebody's death, accidental death, we have done the shraddha and the rites are done to help the being to get rid of the vital vibrations. Already I have told so many problems are happening in the vital state. To get rid of these vital vibrations, shraddha and some rites, maybe some religious rites or something, but we are spiritual, we feel we are spiritual, so according to Sri Aurobindo's declarations, rules and regulations, whatever are fixed by Sri Aurobindo, spiritual principles, these principles we are gathering around and we celebrate, we observe. And which still attach it to the earth or to the vital worlds. For that actually some spiritual things must be done, spiritual rituals must be done. So you have to you have to do somewhere that Patachakra and all, somewhere you have to do the Namajap, you have to create the spiritual atmosphere, you have to make prayer and all. You have to be very much your from the inner core of your heart. You have to you have to express your goodwill and aspire for the peace for the departed soul. That's what these are the things that that have to be created, so that it may pass quickly to its rest in the psychic peace. For that peace, and simultaneously and interestingly, this psychic peace, it has to go. So for that, actually, you have to create this. These people, they are here to create the spiritual atmosphere. Initially, in religion, something was there, like one hell is there, like Put. That from that narka, that hell, only the son has to save him. So he is known, the son is otherwise known as Putra. Putnam narka tatrayate iti putra. Putnam narka tatrayate iti putra. But here it is completely different. Here that poor son, nowadays this son, this daughter, nobody is there with you. And most of the time, you can't claim even if they are do, they will do. That example I can give after this this Tathagata became Buddha, and once he returned to the Kapilavastu. And this palace, all the kingdom was actually in a joyous, in a very jovial mood, celebrative mood. At the beginning, you can find that the king Suddhodana was standing because sun is coming. He expresses his agony before the sun. I have suffered so long. I kept waiting. You left us. Without you, everything something looks like clumsy, confusing. But the son, Buddha explains, the man who left you and the man to whom you see, they are different. I am not like this. And moreover, so far you are claiming that you are my father, I am your son. But nothing like this, because you are only the medium via and through whom actually I have seen touched the ground. So you are just instrumental. You are not my father, nor I am your son. And one thing, whenever somebody walks on the path, travels on the path, this path will never remember its address, who actually passed. So like this, actually, there is a very limited relation existing between you and me. Even if you call everything is mine, I have given you birth, so I have got the rights, fundamental rights. These are only a vague things. Vague things, these are having absolutely unsubstantial, baseless. So like this, actually, you have to see, you have to work up for these vital worlds. If this spiritual atmosphere is created, nowadays this son, daughter, they are doing nothing. If you can be able to be well confined to a spiritual group, and this spiritual atmosphere can be created by anybody, even inside your family or outside your family, then the so-called the divine family that has been created by the near and the dear ones, people who are standing spiritual atmosphere. That is what the requirement, and that is what the thing that must be taken care. So, Sri Aurobindo quotes, usually a soul follows continuously the same line of sex. Sometimes we get confused. Questions are usually put that suppose I am a male in this birth. Is it possible for me to take to become one female in the next birth, or after a couple of births? Sri Aurobindo clarifies, not exactly. In almost all the things you can find the same line of sex. Means male becomes male and male, female becomes like this. But actually, in exceptional case, you have heard that Amba became, changed. In the Mahabharata, you have seen that Amba lady, he has actually got changed sexually, 50-50, something like it is changed. So this has been, you have seen in your vision. So here in the course beautifully, if there are shiftings of sex, it is as a rule a matter of parts of the personality which are not central. But normally speaking, usually speaking, and in a single line speaking, normally the soul follows continuously a same line of sex. It is usual. Anyway, soul is a birth and rebirth, this is a process, and if there is evolution of the conscious individual, there must be rebirth, we have seen. So it will be continuing, and the soul will be taking birth, it will be coming down, taking birth with changed mental, vital, and physical seeds. That is inevitable, and we have to take the second topic, second part tomorrow at this time. Bande Mataram. Thanks. Yeah, it is good for me to remind you. Actually, this is Sikhandi, where the exceptional feature we can see Amba, while following the normally, the soul follows the same line of sex, but in case of Amba, it is little bit changed. We found Sikhandi, which was actually 50-50, neither that here 50%, another 50%, anyway. Say there some deviation was found, but usually finding, you can find that normal, these males are following the male chain and the females are following female chain. Exceptionally, as per our knowledge goes, Sikhandi was the exception. Anyway, we'll try to come out for further more details, some more in the next class. Thank you. Bande Mataram.